individual. It's more so about values than it is about race. Is that correct?
No, it is very much about race. And if there is an individual, well, and let me put it this way. I think that we can have people that are not white in America. There are people that are not white in America. There's large numbers of them. But if America becomes mostly people that are not white, it will be a different country. And you can argue whether that's acceptable or not, but you cannot argue that it won't be a different country. And as somebody that, I grew up in a neighborhood that was 95% white, it will be irreversibly and fundamentally changed by something like that. And I want to preserve that way of living. And that's the clash in values. But I mean, to me,
I don't disagree with you there.
Okay.
But I think the idea of rolling back the clock is untenable. I do agree with you that there needs to be a massive immigration reform, and one that's a lot more self-conscious, including in terms of ethnicity and culture and religion. But also, not to keep drilling back to your own personal status. I'm not doing it to insult you, but it was true too of for example, the Italian Catholics in Chicago, I believe you're from, that was the same scenario. People had the very identical concerns, because when we talk about, even I actually agree that it's not just philosophy. There's an element of blood that factors into people's personality and character. The apple never falls far from the tree. You can see it from point of son to father. But that was also, in Anglo-Saxon Protestants, it is a big deviation from the Mediterranean as an example. And that was also something that was well, discussed by the founding fathers. You must be familiar with Benjamin Franklin's Nordicist racism.
Yeah, well, but this is the kind of thing. I actually like what J.D. Vance said in that interview where he said, just because we're a nation of immigrants 300 years ago doesn't mean we have to have, and I feel the same way about this. I mean, this is the same kind of, well, the Italians weren't considered white. Yeah, that was 100 years ago. But the question now is, in this demographic transition worldwide, as all these countries become minority white, is whiteness worth preserving? I'm not here to debate about, the know-nothings or these various nativist movements from 100 or 200 years ago. I'm here to talk about the demographic transition happening today. But I am curious because I'm really not as interested in debating this with you, with the race of America. I'm interested in the